I think that, and one of my strongest plateaus and positions has been that you need to be well-rounded to be a judge. I have had the luxury of working in courtrooms, and I love the courtroom. I've been, for over 5 years, I was a full-time prosecutor. That's why I was doing criminal trials. Jury trials, from the beginning, from my opening to picking the jury to the conclusion. That's a very important distinction during this race, because that's what the judges preside over, primarily our trials. I've done trials from beginning to end, over and over and over again. I lived in the courtroom. I was full-time there. The cases I did were many and very, very complex. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. And that experience is, in my opinion, is invaluable to what a judge is to do. They sit over trials. They preside over trials. In addition to that, I've done work outside of the courtroom, but I've been in every courtroom in Luzerne County. I've been in family court, divorce court, civil court, motions court, orphans court, criminal court. There's not been a courtroom I haven't been in the capacity as a trial lawyer. So yes, I have that experience as an advocate, and what I do on behalf of victims of violent crime and sexual assault and the child abusers is, thank you. I believe that translates into the fact that I understand the full world of what goes into any case that comes before the court. It would be silly to assume that in 18 years, every single case I've worked on either went to trial or went to full litigation. Obviously, there's two sides to every story, and after doing it for a number of years, you're able to figure out what needs to be done and what you can do in the pursuit of wrongdoing and making people accountable for those actions.
So after all that experience in the courtroom, what have you learned from judges you've been before? How's that going to inform you as a judge?
Well, and I've been before judges, not just in this county, in Lackawanna and Susquehanna County, and one thing I think that I've learned is that you have to, patience, make a record, that you have to have the ability to make your record, to put your evidence on. Hardest thing is when someone says to you, I don't think the judge was listening. I believe, I felt like no one was hearing me, or the demeanor wasn't directed at the victim telling their story. I think those are things I've learned that I'd be so conscientious of for everyone who comes into the courtroom, that there has to be full attention, and there has to be the ability to be totally consumed with what's happening at that trial. And I know they get long trials. I've done trials where they get very long, but that's the job of the judge. You're a public servant. You're there to hear the evidence, to be fair and impartial, to make rulings, and to give the case to the jury, or if it's a bench trial, to yourself. I believe that my understanding of what goes into so much of this would make me a very good judge, to be aware and conscious and very, very attentive to what's happening in the courtroom.